What's going on, it's your boy JTLive, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. And Leeds United have just absolutely thrown the league out of our own hands. What was that, gents? Leicester lose, and once again, Leeds United have the opportunity to top the table, to capitalise on a team dropping points around us. And what do? We absolutely bottle it. We absolutely throw it away in what was an awful, really poor game to watch. Leeds were just so slow today. There was no life in our play. There was no electricity. The movement going forward was slow. There was no one giving options quick enough. Everyone was waiting too long before they made a final decision. The final pass was slow. The shot was slow. We didn't take anywhere near enough shots. We tried to pass it through them. We tried to play it through them too much. We had opportunities to cut open, little angle open up and rifle a shot in, and we barely ever did. By about the last half an hour, we realised that because of how defensively solid Sunderland were, that it was going to be very hard for Leeds to break them down, and that's when we started shooting from range a little bit more. It's just that the quality of the shots from range was so poor. They were so poor. We really showed absolutely nothing. I'm not going to lie to you, we didn't show anything in terms of any kind of quality in breaking Sunderland down today. And they were there to be broken down because Sunderland didn't really offer anything going forward. I'm going to be honest with you. Sunderland, they had a couple of chances. They had one early doors where they crossed it to Jack Clark and he headed it over. They had another one where Jack Clark picked it up on the left-hand side. He dribbled past Rodon, absolutely sent Rodon to the shops. And then Meslier made a big save. But aside from that, Sunderland didn't offer much. They didn't look like they were trying to offer much either. They were just parking men, 2 banks of 4 behind the ball, and especially inside their own box. They had a minimum of 6 players inside their box whenever Leeds came forward, unless if it was a quick burst counter-attack. And in those quick burst counter-attacks, you expect a bit of quality from Leeds in order to stop, or in order to, at least take advantage of the moment that we have, of the opportunity we have. But we didn't take any advantage of any of those chances. We completely squandered every single one of them. The final delivery was off. The final ball was off every single time. In terms of the movement in the middle, Bamford wasn't occupying enough space. He wasn't dragging defenders away enough. He had a couple of moments in the second half where he was linking up with Somerville. A couple of nice 1-2s. But otherwise, he was a far stretch off the Bamford that we know, and we really lacked that presence in the middle of the park, I thought, today, in terms of when we were breaking away on the counter-attack. It was all so easy for Sunderland to defend because it was all in front of them, and there was no one actually dragging anyone out of position, no one flicking it in behind, no one making the runs, no one pushing them off, no one throwing them off their game. It was just a very simple game for Sunderland to play today, and that is the worst thing I can say, because Leeds had a huge opportunity to top of the league today. And what I saw today was a bunch of guys who don't look like they want to get promoted, and it's going to be very hard for us now. We're going to really need to rely on Ipswich to drop points, because us dropping points today, we need Ipswich to lose, because Leicester lost today. You don't think they're going to lose too many more games this season. They already lost now. They've got 5 games left. They've got a big game against Plymouth on Friday. You'd expect them to probably win that game. And they are still a point ahead with a game in hand. Leeds have shot ourselves in the foot here. It's hard not to be deflated. It's hard not to look down when you've just witnessed what you've witnessed. Leeds have been given 2 golden opportunities. Ipswich lost last week and we lost. Leicester lost today and we drew. It's just not good enough. It's just simply not good enough. When you want to get promoted, when everything comes to a knife edge, you get given very few opportunities. And when you get given those opportunities, you have to take them. And Leeds haven't taken them. We've pissed them away. And those are 2 huge opportunities. 2 absolutely monumental opportunities. You're not going to get bigger opportunities than that. You're just not. And Leeds completely wasted them, as always. And it's looking dangerous for Leeds now, and I want to ask you, where do we go from here? Where do we go? Do you still see us getting promoted after this? I mean, we're really going to have to rely on Ipswich dropping points. We really are, and maybe I could look at it through more optimism. All they need to do is lose 1 game and Leeds win every single game, and okay, we could beat them on goal difference. But winning every game for Leeds is not a given with the way that we're playing right now, especially when we've got Southampton in the last game of the season, who themselves just picked up points, and they could be creeping back up at this rate in the way that Leeds have been throwing away points left, right, and centre. So, oh man, it's so tough to call. It is so tough to call. But all I can say is if Leeds don't fix up soon, we're going to find ourselves in a fucking battle for fourth, potentially. Because the way we're playing now is just weak. It's weak. That's all I can say. Because even though the performance was vastly improved to what it was against Coventry, at least we controlled a lot of the ball this time. We didn't do anything with it. We had like 72% possession in the first half and a 0.17 XG. That's embarrassing, mate. That's embarrassing. For the quality we have on the ball, for the fact that Sunderland was sat there waiting to be attacked, and the fact that at this point in the season, Leeds still haven't figured out a way to deal with sides that are going to park the bus against you. At home. Come on, that's the worst part of it all. The worst part is we've seen it from the beginning of the season. Sides are going to try and sit back. Sides are going to try and defend for their lives against you. And you have to be able to break them down. You have to be able to figure out how to deal with this. And we haven't. We still haven't. When we're not counter-attacking sides and getting quick burst counter-attack goals, we have nothing. We have nothing to our game, really. And we look really bang average. And that's the way we look today. And I will say one more thing. On Fark, make your changes earlier, mate. Make your changes earlier. He wants to sit there. He wants to shout at the fourth official. Make your changes earlier. We're all sat there screaming it. Stevie Wonder's screaming it. Bring Nonto on. Bring Mateo Joseph on. Spread them. Dan James wasn't having a great game. Patrick Bamford was pretty invisible, especially in that first half. Bring Joseph on. He's got a bit of dynamism. He's got a bit of pace. And more importantly, he's got a bit of hunger. He's hungry to score. He's hungry to create something. He's hungry for Leeds to get promoted. He's hungry to get his Premier League opportunity. So put him in. Give him more than 10 minutes. Why bring him on in the 81st minute? Why wait until the 81st minute to make this crazy triple change when you can make one change at the 50th minute, one change at the 60th, 70th minute you bring on someone else? And you slowly change things as the game progresses. You don't wait until the 80th minute and try and shock a side. Because guess what? We actually looked alright once we brought some of those players on. Especially the last 10 minutes. We had God knows how many corners in that 10 minutes alone. God knows how many corners in the second half. It's just too little, too late. Speaking of corners, by the way, that was a blatant handball when Rodon tried to head that there. The referee needs to give his head a wobble as well, because we should have had two clear penalties there. You had the Somerville handball one, and you had the Rodon one. Both were penalties in my book, and that is an absolutely disgraceful decision from the referee. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys blame Fark? Do you guys blame the referee? What do you blame for the way Leeds are playing right now, and do you think we can still get promoted? Please let me know down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.